Did you know that eating just 2 slices of a specific red fruit on an empty stomach could be the key to restoring the firmness and duration you thought were gone forever? I'm not talking about some miracle cure or marketing gimmick. I'm talking about a simple physiological truth that most men over 60 have never been told. If you've been struggling with erections that don't last, or if you've noticed that your body simply isn't responding the way it used to, I want you to know something important. This isn't about your age. This isn't about you being broken or past your prime. What you're experiencing is a circulatory issue that can be addressed naturally, and today I'm going to show you exactly how. My name is Dr. Sophia, and I've spent over a decade specializing in men's sexual health. In my clinic, I see men just like you every single day. Men who feel like their bodies have betrayed them, who feel disconnected from their partners, and who've been told that this is just part of getting older. But here's what I've learned from treating thousands of men. The problem isn't age. The problem is blood flow. An erection is fundamentally a hydraulic event. Your body needs to send blood to the right place, keep it there, and maintain that pressure. When that system breaks down, it's not because you're old, it's because something is interfering with that hydraulic process. And the good news is that this interference can often be reversed naturally. Today, I'm going to share with you 3 powerful foods that work together to restore your body's natural ability to achieve and maintain firm erections. These aren't random suggestions. They're based on solid science about how your vascular system works. And at the end, I'm going to reveal a simple 7-second technique that can boost your body's production of nitric oxide, the key molecule your body needs for strong, lasting erections. If you're ready to take control of your sexual health naturally, without depending on pills or dealing with side effects, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. I share science-based solutions for men's health issues that doctors rarely have time to explain in detail. Let me tell you about Richard, a 68-year-old retired firefighter who came to my office 6 months ago. He sat across from my desk with his head down and said, "Doctor, I think this part of my life is over. I can't even look my wife in the eye anymore." Richard had been experiencing what he called complete failure for nearly 2 years. He'd tried everything he could think of, but nothing seemed to work consistently. The interesting thing about Richard's case was that his desire was still there. His mind was willing, but his body wasn't responding. This told me that we weren't dealing with a hormonal issue or a psychological problem. We were dealing with a mechanical one. His blood vessels weren't dilating properly to allow adequate blood flow. Have you ever felt like Richard? Have you experienced that frustration of your mind being ready but your body not cooperating? That disconnect between what you want and what your body delivers? If so, you're not alone, and more importantly, you're not stuck with this situation. The first thing I told Richard was that we needed to focus on his vascular health. You see, the same blood vessels that carry blood to your heart also carry blood to your penis. When those vessels become stiff or narrowed, everything suffers. But here's the fascinating part. Certain foods can actually help those blood vessels relax and open up again. The red fruit I'm talking about is watermelon. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this sounds too simple, let me explain the science behind why watermelon is so powerful for erectile function. Watermelon is incredibly rich in an amino acid called citrulline. When you eat watermelon, especially on an empty stomach, your body converts that citrulline into arginine. And arginine is the building block your body uses to produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is like the master key for your blood vessels. When your body produces enough nitric oxide, it signals your blood vessels to relax and dilate. This is exactly the same pathway that many erectile dysfunction medications target, but instead of using a synthetic drug, you're using your body's natural system. When I explained this to Richard and had him start eating 2 slices of watermelon every morning on an empty stomach, he was skeptical. But within 3 weeks, he called me with excitement in his voice. "Doctor, something's different. I'm waking up with morning erections again, and last night, well, let's just say Richard and his wife reconnected in a way they hadn't in years. The key is eating the watermelon on an empty stomach. When your stomach is empty, your body can absorb the citrulline more efficiently. The conversion to arginine happens faster, and the nitric oxide production gets a significant boost. It's like giving your circulatory system a morning jumpstart. But improving blood flow is just the beginning. To truly restore your erectile function, we need to address the complete system. The blood needs to flow, but it also needs to have the right quality and the right hormonal support behind it. Now that we've opened the pathway for better blood flow, we need to ensure that the blood flowing through your system has the power and quality to create and maintain strong erections. This is where the second component of our natural approach comes in. Many men focus only on getting blood to flow, but they ignore the quality of that blood. Think of it this way: you can have a perfectly good garden hose, but if you're trying to push thick, sluggish water through it, you're not going to get the pressure you need. The same principle applies to your circulatory system. This brings me to the second food that can transform your erectile function: pomegranate. Pomegranate is what I call a blood optimizer. It's packed with antioxidants called anthocyanins, which don't just help blood flow, they actually improve the quality and efficiency of your blood. Here's what happens when you consume pomegranate regularly. Those anthocyanins protect and strengthen your blood vessel walls. They reduce inflammation in your arteries, which is often the root cause of poor circulation. But more importantly for erectile function, pomegranate helps your body maintain nitric oxide levels for longer periods. Remember, nitric oxide is what opens your blood vessels, but it's also very fragile. It breaks down quickly in your system. Pomegranate acts like a protective shield around your nitric oxide, helping it stay active longer. This means not just better erections, but erections that last longer and feel more sustainable. I saw this principle in action with James, a 72-year-old accountant who came to me frustrated because he could achieve an erection, but it wouldn't last more than a few minutes. "Doctor, I feel like I'm racing against time," he told me. "By the time we get started, it's already over." James's problem wasn't getting blood flow, it was maintaining it. His nitric oxide was being produced, but it was breaking down too quickly. When I added pomegranate juice to his morning routine, alongside the watermelon, the change was dramatic. Within a month, he reported that his erections were not only stronger, but significantly more durable. The key with pomegranate is consistency. I recommend drinking 4 to 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice daily, preferably in the morning, along with your watermelon. The antioxidants need time to build up in your system and start protecting your nitric oxide production. But even with improved blood flow and blood quality, there's still one more piece of the puzzle. Your body needs the raw materials to support not just the physical mechanism of erection, but the hormonal drive behind it. This is where our third food comes in, and it might surprise you. The third component of our natural erectile restoration system is dark chocolate, specifically dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa content. Now, I'm not talking about eating candy bars. I'm talking about using dark chocolate as a targeted therapeutic food. Dark chocolate contains compounds called flavonoids, particularly epicatechin, which has a unique ability to support both your circulatory system and your hormonal balance. Here's how it works. Epicatechin improves the sensitivity of your blood vessels to nitric oxide. In other words, it makes your blood vessels more responsive to the open-up signal that nitric oxide provides. But dark chocolate does something else that's crucial for men over 60. It supports healthy testosterone levels. As we age, our testosterone naturally declines, and this decline can significantly impact both desire and performance. The flavonoids in dark chocolate help protect your hormone-producing cells from oxidative damage, which helps maintain more youthful hormone levels. I remember Marcus, a 65-year-old engineer who came to me with a different kind of problem. He could achieve erections, but he had no enthusiasm for intimacy. "Doctor, my body works, but my mind just isn't interested anymore. I feel like I'm going through the motions." Marcus was dealing with what I call functional but joyless erectile function. His circulation was adequate, but his hormonal drive was depleted. When we added 1-2 squares of high-quality dark chocolate to his daily routine, along with the watermelon and pomegranate, something shifted. Not only did his physical function improve, but his enthusiasm returned. The timing of when you eat these foods matters. I recommend starting your day with the watermelon on an empty stomach, followed by the pomegranate juice about 30 minutes later. The dark chocolate can be consumed in the evening, which actually supports better sleep quality. And good sleep is crucial for testosterone production. Now here's something important. These foods work synergistically. The watermelon provides the raw materials for nitric oxide production. The pomegranate protects and extends that nitric oxide. The dark chocolate makes your blood vessels more responsive to the nitric oxide while supporting your hormonal foundation. Together, they create a comprehensive system for erectile restoration. But there's one more element I need to share with you, a simple technique that can amplify everything we've discussed. It's a 7-second breathing technique that can boost your nitric oxide production by up to 200% in just minutes. This isn't about meditation or relaxation. This is about using your breath to trigger a specific physiological response. The technique I'm about to share might seem almost too simple, but it's based on solid research about how your body produces nitric oxide. It's called nasal resistance breathing, and it can be the difference between foods that help and foods that create real transformation. Here's how it works. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, then exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. The key is the nasal breathing and the breath retention. When you breathe through your nose, especially with slight resistance, your nasal passages produce nitric oxide. When you hold your breath, that nitric oxide gets absorbed into your bloodstream more efficiently. Do this technique 3 times in a row, twice daily, once in the morning after eating your watermelon, and once in the evening before bed. This simple practice can multiply the effectiveness of everything else we've discussed. But let me explain why this complete approach works so much better than trying to address erectile dysfunction with just one solution. Think of your erectile function as a 3-legged stool. If any leg is weak, the whole thing becomes unstable. The first leg is blood flow, your body's ability to send blood where it needs to go. The watermelon and the breathing technique handle this by boosting nitric oxide production and improving vascular dilation. The second leg is blood quality and endurance, your body's ability to maintain that blood flow consistently. The pomegranate addresses this by protecting your nitric oxide and reducing vascular inflammation. The third leg is hormonal drive and vascular sensitivity, your body's underlying enthusiasm for sexual function and its ability to respond to the signals. The dark chocolate supports this by maintaining testosterone levels and improving blood vessel responsiveness. When you combine all 3 elements, you're not just treating symptoms, you're restoring the complete system that creates and maintains strong erections. This is why men who follow this approach often report improvements that go beyond just better erections. They talk about increased morning erections, better overall energy, improved mood, and renewed confidence in their relationships. Let me share what happened with Robert, a 69-year-old retired teacher who implemented this complete system. When he first came to see me, he was considering giving up on intimacy entirely. He and his wife had grown distant, and he blamed himself for their lack of connection. After just 6 weeks of following this natural protocol, the watermelon, pomegranate, dark chocolate, and breathing technique, Robert experienced something he described as remembering what it felt like to be a man again. But more than that, he and his wife began talking openly about intimacy for the first time in years. "Doctor," he told me, "I realize now that it wasn't just about the erections. When I lost confidence in my body, I lost confidence in myself. Getting that back has changed everything about how I show up in my relationship. This is what I want you to understand. Erectile dysfunction isn't just about mechanics. It's about connection, confidence, and feeling fully present in your most intimate moments. When your body responds the way you want it to, when you can trust that it will be there for you, everything changes. The beauty of this natural approach is that it works with your body's existing systems. You're not overriding anything or creating artificial responses. You're simply giving your body the tools it needs to function the way it was designed to function. I want you to imagine waking up tomorrow morning with the confidence that your body will respond when you want it to. Imagine the relief of not having to worry about Will it work this time? Imagine the joy of reconnecting with your partner without anxiety or fear of disappointment. This isn't about returning to being 20 years old. This is about being the best version of yourself at your current age. Your body has incredible healing capacity, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. You just need to give it the right support. Start with the watermelon tomorrow morning, 2 slices on an empty stomach. Notice how you feel. Pay attention to your body's responses over the next few days. Add the pomegranate juice after a week. Introduce the dark chocolate after 2 weeks. And practice the breathing technique daily. Remember, consistency is key. These foods work by gradually improving your vascular health and supporting your body's natural processes. You might notice some improvements within days, but the real transformation happens over weeks and months of consistent support. If you found this information helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Share this video with any man in your life who might benefit from this natural approach to erectile health. And if you have questions or want to share your own success story, leave a comment below. Most importantly, don't give up on intimacy. Don't accept that erectile dysfunction is just part of getting older. Your body wants to function properly. Your relationship deserves the full presence and confidence you can bring to it. Give your body the tools it needs and trust in its remarkable ability to heal and respond. Intimacy doesn't have an expiration date. Your body was designed to work. Give it the right fuel and reclaim what's rightfully yours.